Hi, everybody. Welcome back to The Power of Not Knowing. I'm Sterling. Hi, if you're new here. Welcome back if you're not new here. Hello. I forget the sun goes down so early nowadays. I was like, oh my gosh, I should record an episode. Actually, I wasn't like, I should record an episode. I was laying in bed, like, so tired. And I was like, oh, I could take a nap right now. Then I was like, wait, the sun. What do you mean? Like, I shot right up and got ready because I was like, wait, you want this podcast to be a thing? Like, let's go. You have to go record it. You have to do it when you don't want to do it. You can't take a nap right now. Of course I could, but like, there was no reason for me to. I felt like I had energy. I just was laying there on my phone. So I was like, if you want this to work, you have to go record an episode when, yeah. So did I really plan anything? No, because I was taking a shower and like getting ready, and I like fixed my hair because I just washed it, so I had to blow dry it. And I was like, okay, let me think of what I want to talk about this week. My brain is kind of blank. I've had a busy week, so I have something I kind of want to talk about. But first I want to catch you guys up on what I've been doing the past week or whatever. The last episode I mentioned that I was going to Guatemala, and oh no, my ringer's on. It's okay. I don't know where my phone is, but I hear someone text me. I went to Guatemala this last weekend, and it was so much fun. Me and 7 girls from the gym went. Hold on. My dog wants to jump on my bed. And we're back. I had to help her get on the bed. She was struggling, and then she got scared because she dropped something, and I was like, oh, let me go move it for her so she can lay up there. Now she's just cleaning her paws. Anyway, also the lighting may be really weird with this because I forget I have limited time and the sun's just going down, so it may change a lot. Okay, so I went to Guatemala with 7 girls from the gym, and it was so much fun. I've never been to a beach with black sand, so that was really cool. And we learned how to surf. And surfing was kind of hard. It was hard, but it was fun. I struggled with it a lot. Like, they just kept telling me to relax, and I was like, okay, I'll try to relax. And as time went on, I was like, oh, they were obviously right. The more you relax and the like calmer you are when you're trying to stand up on the board, the easier it is. I think I was trying to be like, oh my god, I have to get up really quick. Oh my god, like I'm on this, like it's gonna be wobbly, and I was like, oh. Anyway, I kind of got the hang of it towards the end, but I would love to go surfing again because it was fun. It was definitely a workout, though. Trying to grab your board and walk back against the waves while they're like coming at your face and you have to like push down the board so it doesn't, like sometimes I was not holding the board down like firmly enough, and then I would just get pushed back and have to like do it again. I was so tired. Those waves were coming. I was exhausted. And also, the waves hit you in the face. So I had so much salt water in my nose and in my mouth and in my eyes. I was just like, there were times where I was like, am I having fun? Like, I think I'm struggling a lot. But it was a cool experience. And it was so much fun. We just chilled mostly. The last day though, we there were baby sea turtles that hatched, and we got to wake up early and go watch them release the little tiny baby sea turtles. And it was so sweet. And it was so mind-blowing to me because there was this guy there like giving some facts. And he was like, the reason why sea turtles have to walk the beach is because the males never return to land. So, but the females, it imprints on them. The beach imprints on them. So whenever they're ready to lay eggs, they'll return to the exact same beach or like the land. So they know where to go. And I thought that was so cool. I didn't know that. So that was like Friday through Monday. It was a quick trip, but it was a perfect amount of time in my opinion. And then I came home and I'm struggling to get back into routine because I've been dog sitting on the side to make some extra money. Super simple. I love it. I just get to spend time with dogs and like stay at their people's houses and just kind of like watch their dog and like play with them and like chill. But I did that this following weekend, and so my routine is a bit off because I also have my other job, so I would like go from there to the dog sit and back and forth. And another thing, this past Saturday was a Halloween party for my gym, and it was so much fun. I did a group costume with some of my friends, and we did Bob's Burgers, and I was Louise, the girl with the little pink ears. And I will be honest, I've never sat down and watched a full episode of Bob's Burgers. I obviously know what it is, but I could not see it coming together until we got there and everyone was dressed up. And my friend Jessica, she played Tina so well. Like, she embodied Tina. It was so funny. I was like, you fit this. Like, it was walking up, just seeing her standing there. It was so funny with her wig and her glasses. Yeah, the Halloween party was so much fun. I literally just bought a green dress from Amazon and bought the little pink ears from Amazon too. So I had a super simple costume. But yeah, that was Saturday. And now today we're Monday. I went to train earlier. Today I had to dog sit and I didn't have to work, which was good. But finally I'm home. And I think that's why I was like laying down, like trying to rest. But at the same time, I was like, oh, I haven't had a chance to record because I've just been go, go, go. So I'm excited to sit down and record something. I was thinking about perfectionism because I was like, I kept stopping myself from recording because I wanted everything to be perfect. Like a day off where I don't have anything to do. That's when I'm going to record. And of course I can record on those days, but at the same time I'm like, done is better than perfect. So do something, get it done. It's better than having this perfect plan because perfection does not... I am just a perfectionist. I'm sure many people are out there. I'm sure most of everyone, not everyone, but like there are a lot of people who are perfectionists where it's good to want to perfect something, but a lot of times it stops us and creates this like fear, and we're just like ignoring something and not following through with it because we want it to be perfect and we're using it as like an excuse. And so yeah, I wanted to talk about that, and I also randomly thought about this quote that story time. When I turned 18, my mom was like, you should go get a tattoo, because I was 18. And I was like, okay, I'll go get a tattoo. But I didn't think of what I wanted. So at the time, I was like, there was this quote. I literally don't know where I got it from or how I found it. But the quote was, feel the fear and do it anyway. And I got it tattooed, like, so randomly. I walked in and I was like, I want this really fine line, like, straight, minimalist. Feel the fear and do it anyway. That's all I wanted. I think I've always been this person deep down who's very, like, into self-growth and self-development, even though it's hard for me to embody it sometimes. Like, it's hard to me to be like, yeah, that's who I am. Like, sometimes I'm a little, like, embarrassed that I don't read smut and, like, fictional books like Harry Potter. I'm sure I would like it, but all of my books here, they're all self-development and self-growth. And in high school, I would always watch YouTube about fitness people and follow along on self-development, like morning routines, whatever. Deep down, that's just who I am. And that's why I wanted to start a podcast like this, because I love that stuff. And so, of course, being that person, I wanted that quote as my first tattoo. Long story short, the next day, I cried because the lettering was, like, crooked. And I was like, why did I just feel so obligated to get any tattoo? I didn't like it, and I felt so embarrassed that I just got this quote and it looks silly. Like, I didn't. When you get a tattoo, you want to be like, here's my tattoo. Look at this cool tattoo. I was embarrassed because I was like, it looks like, it wasn't even that bad. But in my head, because it was inked onto my body forever, I was like, it looks like a 5-year-old tried to write this. And it was my fault for just going in there expecting a human being to have perfect, steady hand. Whatever. So, long story short, I cried. And my mom felt bad because she was the one who wanted me to get a tattoo. And I got it covered up. I'll show it on here. So, no one knows that this is a cover up. It's on my forearm. You can still see the lettering, like, from my point of view, and if you look at it a certain way, you can still see feel the fear and do it anyway. And it's kind of interesting to me because I used to be a person who did not didn't give a crap about what people thought. I knew that I wanted to have a YouTube channel, and I knew I wanted to talk about things like this that I'm talking about on this podcast from such a young age. I knew I still want to be my own boss and an entrepreneur, like, have my own business. Of course, I'm figuring out how and the direction. But, like, as I got older, I started thinking so logically and so with so much fear. Like, will that work out? And someone told me once, like, someone shut down. I'm not gonna say who, but I remember saying, like, oh, this is what I want to do. And I was like 18. And this older person, like, older, more life experience, they were like, no one's going to listen to you. Who's going to listen to an 18-year-old? And who has no life experience? And I think deep down, that sat with me for the longest time. So I was like, you're right. I don't have life experience. I'm so young. Who would listen to me? But fast forward, here we are. But I was thinking about that tattoo because I was like, this is who I am deep down. And it's like as soon as I got this tattoo covered up, I slowly got further away from that person. Of course, I've grown so much and I wouldn't change anything. Like, I'm very proud of who I am and who I've grown into. I've had so many like life experiences that have led to this point. But there is some envy of the person I used to be who was super, what is the word? Like, I didn't think about other people's opinions. I didn't worry about, like, I was just like, this is what I want to do. I'm going to do it. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Like, even though I was so young and I hadn't experienced as much life as I have now, I still thought with that mindset. And I think I've embodied it through actions like how I've gotten here today, like moving to a new city, not knowing many people. That was scary, but I did it. It was really scary. I'm not going to say I was like, yeah, let's go. I cried. I started a hobby that was very intimidating and literally love it now, and am obsessed with it and have made so many friends and literally people who would, I have never felt more loved in my life than like at this point in my life. And meeting people who were once strangers who are now like, I would do anything for them and I know they would do anything for me. But feeling the fear of starting something so new where I didn't know people and I didn't know anything about it. It was so foreign. And I did it, and seeing the results of it, I still have stopped myself from doing things that I want to do because of this fear. Like, I feel it and it stops me. And I wanted to talk about this because there are people out there right now. People, you listening probably have something that you want to do in life, and there's this little fear of it. Fear of like going to the gym again because you haven't in forever and you're afraid of not knowing what you're doing, or being afraid to go to or start some I obviously didn't plan this episode, but there's just this fear that gets in our way. And even if we don't necessarily want to acknowledge it and be like, oh, I am scared to do that, we kind of like dismiss it. Fear holds so many people back. And it's not that I'm saying it's not going to be scary even months into this thing or years down the road. Starting something doesn't mean you're not going to be scared later on. Even when you're an expert, or even when you've done it for so long, there's still things where you're like, oh, that's uncomfortable. But that's where the growth comes from. And I think that many people, at least the audience that I'm trying to reach, they have something deep down that they want to do that may not be what's conventional. It may not be a career or a passion that other people understand. And that, I feel that so deeply, Because as much as podcasts are such a thing nowadays that everyone has, it's very intimidating and scary for me to start a podcast talking about so many vulnerable topics. It'd be one thing if I was starting a podcast with this, like, just talking about random stuff and like drama and opinions about things like pop culture, like talking about trending things. But I'm talking about things that make me feel this fear. And in order to see my vision come to life, and in order for you to see your vision come to life, you have to do it while feeling the fear. This fear is not knowing what's on the other side, and you have to, it's very powerful to see a vision in your mind and know that that's something that makes you happy and going with it. Logistics get in the way, and it causes us to stop and want to be perfect until we do this thing that we know we enjoy. And thinking back on the time when I was such a naive teenager who was so about this and didn't care as much as I do now, I would have loved for that person to have started this podcast years ago, because she knew that's what she wanted to do, but because it was so unconventional and because slowly people's opinions started mattering more, and seeing people have normal 9-to-5 jobs and just working a job where someone tells you to do something and you'll do it, giving you a time that you have to be there and you'll be there. Oh, like, I'm living that right now, and what I would have done to tell the younger version of myself to be like, don't listen to what that person has to say. Who cares? You know that it's uncomfortable, especially now that someone has said something, and especially now that as you get older, people your age are going to college, and people your age they want to have normal careers, and that's okay. But that shouldn't stop you. What I would do to tell my younger self to just do the thing. Who knows where I could be in my life right now if she would have done it. But I'm very thankful for all of the experiences, because it's led me here. It's led me to think the way I think now and to learn and grow. But now I know that even 6 years later, about like 5-6 years later, if something's still tugging on my heart that's very specific, it's insane not to do it. If that fear is still there, but the thing that I know I want to do hasn't left, it would be crazy to not do it. And whoever's listening to this, I know there's something that you've always wanted to try, and fear has stopped you, or perfectionism has stopped you, or not being old enough has stopped you, or not having the most experience or expertise at something has stopped you. But being a beginner at something is where so much growth comes from. It's where you build your confidence in yourself. It's where you literally just starting something inspires. That inspires this domino effect for yourself, and it inspires other people who are looking up to you. And it's hard to understand that there are people in our lives who look up to you because you think you're not where you want to be, and you're only in your head being like, oh, I wish I was more confident. I wish I was like this person. But there are people who are watching you, your younger sibling, or your younger cousins, or even your parents, or this person in school who saw you walk by and have this confidence or this aura about you. There are people. Okay, as I'm talking, I'm like, wow. That always happens when I start recording. But there are people in your life who are looking up to you, and you may not think it, or you may not notice it because you're in your own head, and you're not where you want to be, and you haven't achieved these goals, blah, 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 blah. You're literally nitpicking yourself. But there are people who are admiring you. And if you can't do it for yourself because you're so in your head, take a step back and realize those people are looking up to you. Those people are proud of you. Those people wish they could be in the place you are right now. Those people wish that it's just this, it's so interesting when you think of it from this perspective of taking a step out of your body, and instead of criticizing yourself and being like, whoa, even your younger self, but there are people who are looking up to you. And if you can't fully embody who you truly are and what you truly love and what truly makes you happy, they're seeing that. These people who look up to you so much are seeing you not as your most authentic self. There's a possibility of these people seeing someone who has felt the fear and did it anyway. There's a possibility of these people who are watching you to see you achieve your goals, and that literally could inspire them to be like, oh my God, I want to be like her. I look up to her so much already for what she has done, because it's so big to them but so little to you. It's so much for them to be like, oh, but you have so much potential to help people who are looking up to you, to help them build the confidence from you. To help them build the confidence from you doing the things that you're scared of. It's all perspective. But yeah, I could go more into depth in that. But that's basically what I'm trying to get. Like, I don't want to go too far into something and then lose track of what I was trying to say originally, because I tend to do that. But yeah, just this fear is always going to be there. And I'm not telling you it's ever going to not be there. But the more confidence you build from doing something so uncomfortable while you feel it, that's where you build the confidence. Stepping out of my comfort zone to move to a new city after dropping out of college, after getting out of a relationship that I had known for 4 years, moving to not having money, not having a job or thought of what job I would have, literally just loading up my car and coming. That someone may have saw me and been like, oh my gosh, I wish I could do that. Even though I was in my head like, what the fuck am I doing? What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Someone's looking at me and being like, whoa, she's doing that. I wish I could do that. But anyway, it's gotten me so far. It's gotten me 4 years later in my own apartment, talking to a camera, starting a podcast, because that's always been with her. And that's the thing that she wants to step in right now, which is knowing that she's always wanted to do this. And sometimes you have to just push yourself. You have to hold yourself accountable. You have to understand that time is going to pass anyway. And 5 years is going to come. And you're either going to be in the same position that you are right now, or you're going to have been 5 years into doing something that you love. You're either, time is going to pass anyway. There's no guidebook. There's no right or wrong option. Mistakes are going to happen, but instead of looking at them as like mistakes and being so detrimental and you staying safe on this path of not making mistakes, it's only going to keep you in the same place. Whereas if you take this road where not many people are willing to go because it's scary, it's uncomfortable, it's not familiar, you don't know what's on that path. But I can tell you this, that path has so many lessons. It has so many opportunity for growth. It has so many amazing people that have that you could cross paths with and learn from and feel loved by and express your love to. But you're never going to know if you don't go down the path that has the most fear. You're never going to know if you don't choose to do it anyway when you feel this fear. And some people can take this lightly, or other people can be like, okay, I know there's this thing that I'm too scared to do, and it could actually change my life, and I'm sitting here stressed about finances, and I'm sitting here not happy in my relationship, and I'm sitting here stuck in a town that I don't like, and I'm sitting here stuck in a job that I hate, and I'm not surrounded by people where I could really express these deep thoughts about how I feel inside. There are people out there who feel the same way you do. There are people out there who are in a career that you want to be in because they chose to not listen to that voice in their head. There are people who were in the same place you were, and they chose to do it even if they did it alone. you have to do it alone sometimes. But then at the same time, it may feel lonely and scary, but like on this road where people are seeing you go down and seeing you grow and seeing you blossom and seeing you change, it may be like, they may be like, you're not the same person that you used to be. But you can't stay the same person that you are right now forever. Or you're always going to think the way you do now, and you're always going to think the way you do and think the way everyone around you thinks and have conversations that everyone has that are stuck in this place of familiarity and comfortability, who don't know anything more but gossiping and talking about things that truly don't matter. And I mean, that is okay if that's what they want. But if you know deep down that you are like, I think deeply about things, I care about more than just small talk, I want to meet people who are smarter than me, who know more than me, who have their own business, who have their own podcast, who own their own gyms, who are financially stable, and like, I want to learn from them. I want to put myself in a position where I'm surrounded by people who know more than me, even if it's scary. Because that means 5 years from now, I'm not going to be sitting here watching the latest reality TV show, still hating my life. And disclaimer, there's nothing wrong with everything that I'm talking about, like examples and stuff. Like, successful people watch TV. Like, success can mean different things for you. But if it means like having a family and meeting a partner who really cares about you and listens to you and acknowledges how you're feeling and wants you to grow, compared to like a partner you may or may not have right now that's shutting you down and not letting you be an individual, you're never going to know what's on the other side of this fear if you don't just do it anyway. And it's a learning lesson that's going to come and go. You're going to have moments in your life where you're confident and like, okay, I'm ready to go. I don't care what's obstacle gets in my way. But even after experiencing that confidence, life happens. And there's going to be times when you're like, I thought I outgrew this fear. I thought I would never be afraid of things because I accomplished so much and I got past so much. It's gonna happen again. But the more you know, the more you do things through this fear and through this and being uncomfortable, the more you know what happens when you do it. Like, if you have never done something scary in your life, it's going to be so much harder to do the thing. But as you continuously do things that scare you and make you uncomfortable and push yourself, you get this confidence and you just know, oh, life is actually more scary not doing the thing that scares me. That's what scares me. Being in the same place in my life, not that I'm not grateful and blessed and thankful for everything, but it scares me more to be in the same place that I am right now 5 years from now. It scares me to not grow and constantly be afraid of things and stopping myself and be stuck and stagnant. That terrifies me. I realize I've been talking for the longest time. The sun is going down, so the lighting's getting crazy. But, anyway, yeah. You have to get to the point where you know time is going to pass. And if you're sitting here with this fear and not doing something about it, you're never going to grow. You're never going to learn lessons and become a better person for other people and for yourself. And you're just going to be in the same place forever. And you're constantly going to be like, ugh, I wish I would have done that. I wish, like, time is going to pass. That fear is always going to be there until you do something about it. And it's actually not that bad on the other side of fear. In your head, you may think it's terrible. But I'm here to tell you, nothing is more terrible than being in the same place when you know you want to grow and you know you want more for yourself. Just because you're afraid to take a step forward and try. All you have to do is try. And we make such a big deal out of failing. It's okay to mess up. It's okay to not get something right. And it's okay if things don't work out the way you thought that they were supposed to be. It's just a redirection in your life. It's not the end of the world. Going through uncomfortable things only makes you a better person, and it only allows you to grow. And I need to wrap this up. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for listening. I hope this helped you in some sort of way. Whether it inspired you to be like, just do something about your life because you know you're not where you want to be. And it's okay to not be where you want to be, because I'm in that boat too. I'm still working for someone. I'm not financially stable. But slowly doing things that are making us uncomfortable and that we know we love to do, it's gonna come. You just have to be patient, and you have to know you have to do the work, but you have to know that the results are gonna come. And yeah, so like this covered tattoo that I have, it's still a quote that lives with me. And I wish I had more of a reminder of it, especially since I got it covered up. But it was a nice realization to know that such a young version of myself had so much wisdom. And who knows who would have known that 18-year-old version of me chose to put something on her body and get this tattoo to symbolize something. Who would have known that she would be talking about that exact thing years later on a podcast that she started because she was scared. So that's really crazy to think about, but I want you to sit with this quote and really figure out what scares you and why it scares you. And I think, yeah, I don't know how to wrap this up. That's so awkward. But yeah, we all have fear. Even the people who seem so successful in life and seem like they don't have fear, there's fear. But the difference between the people who are where you want to be and people who are not where you want to be is they just felt the fear and they did it anyway. They chose to be uncomfortable. They chose to not know, and they were okay with it. And that's how you grow. So thank you for listening. This is The Power of Not Knowing. I'm Sterling. And if you haven't, go like this on Spotify. and follow on YouTube, and maybe check out the TikTok account. Maybe give me a review if you'd like, or thumbs it up. That would help so much. Yeah. New episodes weekly, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.